tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can upload media for a sermon and then create a sermon page as a blog post, so that's easy for you to upload it each week and manage it in the future. So when you're in the dashboard, if you want to go ahead, we're going to use a pre-existing page that we have for sermons. So if we want to go to our site, we can see I've got under this media tab a sermons tab. So I'm going to click on that and just show you what I've got here. So what we're going to do is we've got the templated sermon page, but I'm going to add a blog module so that we can add in blog posts as sermon archives. So we're going to enable the visual builder. And then I'm going to add a row. And then I'm going to add a blog module. So I've already created a category called sermons, so I'm going to add that here and I'm going to select that. So when we go and we add all of our sermons, we're going to make sure we use this tag. And we can go ahead and save. So we've got a sample sermon in here and I'm going to show you how we can upload one. So if we go back to our dashboard, to upload media, we can go to our media tab and we can add the media from there, or when we're actually creating the page or the blog post, we can add it in there as well. So we're going to go to this post section and then add new. So if each week you're adding sermons either as a video or as an audio link, you can do that in this section. So we can go ahead and label this. We can say sample sermon 1. So if you've got media, so if you have like an MP3 or an MP4 download that you've got from your computer, you can directly add that in here through the add media. Or if you're using a Vimeo or YouTube link, you can literally just copy and paste the URL and it'll create the video right there. It'll embed it. So I have an audio file that we're going to use, so we can go ahead and use this audio file. We'll insert it into the post, and you'll see that we get the audio media player. In order for us to actually differentiate this from a regular blog post, we're going to change the format from standard to audio. So sometimes the first time that you do this, you might not see that. So we can see it up here in the screen options, and we'll make sure that the format box is checkmarked. You'll only need to do that the first time, and then it'll show up every time that you do it. So we can go ahead and do the audio, and then we're going to select which category it is. So we've got sermons. If you want to be even more specific about what kinds of sermons you're adding, you could do a subcategory. So if you wanted to have a sermon series, it could be something like sermon series 1, and you could add it underneath the sermons and add that category. And so then you'd have the sermon as the top category, and then each sermon series underneath it as a subcategory. It's easier for your users to sort through them if that's what you want to go ahead and do. So we'll just use the sermons for now, since we're doing an example. We can change the author. So if we want it to be somebody else, if you're the admin, but you want it to be the pastor's email or the pastor's name, you can change that. So we'll keep it at mine. And then we can also set a featured image. So if you have like an image for your sermon series, you can set that here. So I've got one I've created. We can set our featured image. So then this is going to show up on that page along with the audio file. So we can go ahead and publish this. And so we can go and see what that looks like on our actual website. Go to Fred's Church. And then we'll go to media and sermons. So you'll see we have a sample sermon here. It's got that audio player. If we actually click on it, then we'll see that image for the sermon series. If your users want to comment, they can do that there as well. And it's got the category, the published date. You can actually backdate your sermons too. So if you are uploading a whole bunch of different sermons all at once, we can backdate them in that post. So if we ever need to go and edit the post, we'll go to all posts. We've got that sermon, so we can do a quick edit if we want to change the date. So if I want to backdate it to April 1st. We can go ahead and backdate it. We can update. If you upload a whole bunch of them and the author is wrong, you can select all of them that apply. You can do a bulk action to edit. We'll do apply, and then we can change the author if we wanted to change it to any of these other people, or if we needed to change the category, any of those kinds of things you can go ahead and do in that bulk edit. So that's how we would manage the blog post. So let's go back to that actual page where the blogs live, or the sermons. So if we go back to the sermons, so since we've backdated it, you can see that the April 12th date is going to be first, and then this one is going to be second. So they'll categorize themselves in order of when you post them. We can edit how they appear by going to the Visual Builder, and we're going to edit the blog module. So we'll find this gray gear for the blog module. We've got the blog settings, so you can set how many different posts you want to show up at once. So if you only want 10 on a page to show up, or you want 5 on a page, that kind of thing. And then in this design section, we can actually change how the layout is. So we could go from full width to a grid. And I'll show you what that looks like. So with the grid, you can see that it has the sample sermon there. We can set the pagination. So this is what actually shows up here. So if you want to change the text size or any of that kind of thing, we can go ahead and change the text here. This elements, this is where the pagination is. So the elements, you can show the featured image, you can show the read more, you can show the author if you don't want to show the category or the date, or if you don't want the pagination to show at all. We'll see what that looks like. So that kind of thing. So this is where the elements of what you'll actually see is. So each time you upload an image or upload a sermon, it'll show up on this page and you can categorize them. So let's see if we've got like a YouTube link. If I have a link for a YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a YouTube. So I'm just going to copy and paste that unique URL for the YouTube link. So I just went and grabbed a YouTube link, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So we can save and exit that. So if we go back to our posts, we add a new one. So let's say every week you have a video that you want to add. We can go ahead and do sample video. And then I'm just going to drop that URL right here. So you'll see that it populates that YouTube video. We've got this video. This is about creating a form. It's not really a sample of a sermon, but we can change it to a video. We can set a featured image. We could go ahead and use that same image. We'll set it for sermons, and then we'll publish, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll go to media and sermons. And then you'll see with this, with the videos, that sermon image that we have is there, and it's just a direct, we can watch it right here, or we can click on the actual thing on the actual page. We'll see the video. Looks great. So that's how you can add a sermon as a blog post. And it's probably the easiest way to categorize your sermons. It's really easy to upload them as you can see, it takes less than 5 minutes to set it up, and then it'll categorize itself in order of the most recent one. So that's how you can add your sermons as a blog post. Let us know if you have any questions.